Good morning. We're in the middle of the series of Shavavim, and we're up to Parshas Vu'ayru. And this is the second week from this year's Shavavim lessons. And the Torah Kedusha tells us, the end of last week's Parsha, that as Hashem sent Moshe Rabbeinu to go to the Jewish nation and to Pharaoh just to tell him that he should let the Jews out. And what happened was 7 days Hashem tried convincing Moshe should go, and it was very hard. Moshe didn't want to go. Now what happened in the end, Moshe went, and Pharaoh made much harder for the Jewish nation, and Moshe was very, very upset. Now, before we explain what Moshe did, let's explain something else. It says in Psalms, Hashem is close to whoever calls him sincerely. What does it mean, calling Hashem sincerely? Is it possible that somebody is just making jokes with Hashem? When who that calls Hashem doesn't mean it sincerely. The only thing is, we have to understand that there are people that they come to Hashem and they ask for money. Hashem should give them money. But the way they ask it is, they tell Hashem, listen, if you're going to give me so much money, I'll make a kollel. Or if you'll give me so much money, I'll make a synagogue. Or if you give me so much money, I'll make a beautiful school. But the problem is, it's very nice to ask like this, but what happens when Hashem says, I'm fine, I don't need no synagogue, I'm just perfect, I don't need it. The person becomes stuck. There's another kind of a person that comes to Hashem and says, please Hashem, give me money because I want to buy my own apartment. I want to buy an apartment upstate too. I would love to go with my wife for vacation. I would love to own a beautiful car. Help me, Hashem, give me money. This person is sincere. He asks from Hashem whatever he needs. Doesn't try to code it with something nice. A person like this is called that he's crying out to Hashem sincerely. And usually Hashem loves these kind of people that ask him be'emes. They ask him emesdik. They are sincere, whatever they want, they need it. Because the truth is that this person that asks Hashem for money, that he wants to make a school and a synagogue, really he wants a school and a synagogue, but really what he wants, he also wants to go on vacation. He also wants to buy a house for himself, also wants to have a beautiful car, but he's trying to put the sugar coating on it, that it should look good. The second person that asks straight out like a child, he's innocent, doesn't have no connections, no strings attached. Give me Hashem. This is called calling sincerely. The Torah tells you over here, Moshe Rabbeinu went and spoke to Pharaoh. And the Torah tells us, he came back to Hashem and he said, Hashem, Lamu, why did you make bad for your people? Why did you send me? And he's complaining, he says, since I went to talk in your name, it became much worse and nothing helped since I was there. And you made your people, the Jewish nation, I made bad for them instead of good. We understand when somebody talks to Hashem like this, he should get 2 whips in his face. How do you talk like this to Hashem? But surprisingly, Hashem answered very, very differently. Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Hashem tells Moshe, now you will see. What means now? Now that you came and spoke to me in such a kind of a way. You spoke to me be'emes. You told me exactly how you felt. And this is the way you spoke to me. Now you're going to see what I'll do to Pharaoh, and I'll take out the Jewish people with my strong hand, and you'll see it the way we do it. How many times this year is designated to speak Shavavim in order not to the people, not to the boys. This year we're talking to the parents, to the mother and the fathers, in order they should have beautiful houses, in order that this what Hashem says in beginning of Shemos, when you go down, when you went down to exile, Hashem starts in the beginning of Parsha Shemos. It says that Ish Ibayso Ibui, everybody came with their house. Then Hashem says that Shifru and Piyu, these two midwives that didn't listen to Paro, Hashem gave them a present and Hashem paid them back, and He made houses for them. What do you mean by houses? In order we should be able to be Erlach, in order we should be serving Hashem, we have to have beautiful houses. The main thing is to be Erlach, to be pure, is to have a beautiful house. And the Torah is teaching us over here, be emesdik. If you have emes, then you're gonna have a beautiful house. How many times, Nebuch, I just dealt with a boy that's getting almost married, and he comes and tells me, this is the first time in my life I had an open conversation with my mother. How sad is this? How much sadness is there in a house that you could live there for 19 years and this is the first time you had an open, honest talk? I once had a father that it was his third child that I was teaching before getting married, and the father asks me, what am I doing wrong? So he's in the middle of talking to me, so he tells me, you know who I am? I never made a brucha, I never said a blessing in my house on food that I shouldn't put on my hat. And the father alone tells me, I need a hat like a hole in my head. I'm just putting it on that my children should see it. Doesn't realize you just said it. You just said the whole problem. You're doing something that you don't need. You are not sincere. If you would be sincere, your children would feel it. The Torah tells us, the Gemara tells us, that a father can't be yoirish to his son something that's not to do. Yoirish means you can't it can't go over like properties, like money goes over from a father to a child. So the same thing is something that's not to do, you can't give it over to your child. The answer is you could give it over, but the child is not going to buy it. You don't buy things that's not sincere and not emes. Shaker, that means shaker in English is, I don't know how to say it. Now, you don't buy something like this. And the Torah tells us you should be surprised. If you would have looked in the Parshas V'Ayru and see, wow, this is the way Moshe Rabbeinu talks to Hashem, who knows what he's going to get for this? You know what he got? That Hashem is telling him, okay, now because you spoke like this, I will show you how I'm going to take out the Jewish people. Now, I did make a website in a phone system, whoever doesn't have the internet, and for $350, you could find out more and more how to have a beautiful, warm house. It's just a pity that you didn't do it yet, because it does take work. This is not a quick fix. It's something that you have to do. And if you don't do it now, you'll do it sometime. Or chas v'shulam, you might never have a house. How many children come from houses that you don't consider they're coming from a house? For the phone system, the number is 212-666-5433. For the website, it's Reb Yakov Moshe.com. Reb is R-E-B-Y. R-E-B. Yaakov is Y-A-K-O-V. Moshe is M-O-S-H-E.com. Have a beautiful week and all the best.